In this video, I go over 5 great pieces of gear under $300 for DJs and producers. Find out which ones those are coming up. Thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. Now let's get into the video. So the first item we have up is the Roland DJ 202 DJ controller featuring Serato DJ. Now, I like this controller a lot as an entry-level controller because at the price for under $300, not only do you get a really solid Serato DJ controller with a lot of the same features that the bigger brothers have, such as the 8 performance pads with the different modes and separate start, stop, and cue buttons, but you also get MIDI output, and this is the only entry-level Serato DJ controller that has MIDI output. And with the latest update for the Roland DJ 202, you also get access to the TR8 and all the functionality that the 505 and 808 have in that regard. So not only can you sequence using the TR8 with this controller, but you also get the ability to sync other devices via MIDI. So if you want this to be the brain of your performance station, and you have other MIDI devices such as maybe like Korg Volca or something else like that, that's possible with this controller, and that's not possible with other entry-level Serato DJ controllers. So if you're looking to do something more than DJing and build more of a performance set that's kind of based around DJing and blending tracks, this is definitely the way to go at an entry-level price. And here we have another entry-level Serato DJ controller with a feature that you don't find anywhere else, and this is the Numark MixTrack Platinum. Now, the MixTrack has been a long-running series for Serato DJ and Numark, and I mean, there's been a bunch of iterations, but this one is definitely special in my opinion. First off, I gotta give a huge shout out to this controller having full range pitch faders instead of those really small pitch faders that you see on a lot of Serato DJ controllers, just like the 202 that we just looked at that has a really small pitch fader. This one has more of a full-size pitch fader, so if you're into manual beat matching and you don't use the sync button, this is going to feel a lot more comfortable, and it's going to be a lot faster to beat match on because of the side of those pitch faders. And then secondly, the standout feature of this controller has to be the displays on the jog wheels. Now this is a feature that you don't even see on mid-range or even some of the higher priced Serato DJ controllers, and this just allows for a lot less looking at your laptop and mixing with just using this controller in front of you. I know I just purchased a Pioneer DJ SR2, and I really wish it had this feature of having the display in the middle of the jog wheel where I can see where I am in the track as far as time is concerned, as well as seeing the BPM of the track. Much like working on an actual CDJ or a larger form media player, it gives you that kind of feel because you have that information right there on the hardware in front of you, and I definitely know it makes a difference with mixing and how comfortable you are and how quick you can mix, and just looking less at the laptop and looking more at the hardware in front of you as well as the crowd in front of you. Now the third item we have up is the Arturia BeatStep Pro, and I like this controller because not only is it a production and performance device, but you can use this as a secondary controller for your DJ setup as well. Because of the way the pads are set up, having 2 rows of 8, you can kind of break it up just like it is on an SP1 where you can have 2 sets of 8, so you can have those kind of performance pad situation going on, as well as a bunch of MIDI mappable buttons above it, and then those rotary knobs. You have a lot of options as far as setting this up to work the way you want it for the software of choice that you have. And I could see this being used, like I mentioned, with the performance pads for cue points and loops. I could see using these encoder knobs as ways to adjust your looping or your beat jumps or your effects and filters all in one, and then the smaller buttons to change the different modes for how you want the pads to work. There's a lot of possibilities with this, and that's just on top of it being a really great sequencer as well. So like I mentioned with the Roland DJ 202, how you could have that be the hub of your performance setup, this can be the hub as well. The flexibility you have with the sequencer is pretty amazing for this price point and the size of this thing. So if you're on the go mobile and you need a really nice sequencer for your Volcas or your teenage engineering, smaller synthesizers, this kind of thing can really fit in and really bring those all together and be the brain of that setup. Now for a more computer-based production setup, we have the Native Instruments Machine Micro Mark II, and this has just been slashed, so it's now under $300, and it's a great controller and software combination to use together, and you can really get around with this, especially if you're into making sample-based or loop-based production. I mean, the sequencer on this is just one of the best in the game as far as pattern-based sequencers go. At this point, it's really between this and the MPC X or MPC Live series, and either way you go, you can get a really great result. But for this one, for under $300, you can get into that machine ecosystem and get all the sounds, literally gigabytes of sounds that this comes with, as well as one of my favorite VSTs is included, and that has to be Native Instruments Massive, when you can make so many different sounds with just that synth alone. So for under $300, you get a really nice piece of hardware that's built really well, has RGB lit pads, as well as a really nice piece of software that includes a lot of different samples and sounds, and one of my favorite synthesizers on the market. It's a deal at under $300. And finally, we have one of my favorite headphones, but in a different setup, and this is the III TMA2 Modular Wireless 2 preset. Now, not only is this the TMA2 setup, but this has the more comfortable, bigger over-the-ear look of those bigger ear pads that have a little bit more cushioning, and especially if you like over-the-ear rather than on-ear, these are very comfortable. If you've ever tried these on, you know how comfortable these are, and because it's the TMA2 headband and all of that, they feel really light and feel still really sturdy. And also with this, you also get the modular wireless setup. So not only is this one of the nice looking headphones in my opinion, and one of the best sounding headphones in my opinion, but this also includes Bluetooth connectivity as well. So if you're not just DJing and you want to use these, maybe you're on the go, on the train, commuting, these make a really good wireless headphone as well. And I would say, in my opinion, these sound way better than a lot of the other Bluetooth wireless headphones on the market, and under $300, definitely a good buy. So that's a look at 5 great pieces of gear under $300 for DJs and producers. If you're interested in purchasing any of those, links can be found down below in the description. And as always, if you found this video useful, please go ahead and give this a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and click right here to subscribe to this channel. Or if you'd like to watch more content, go ahead and click on that video right there. And thank you for watching PDot TV, where you'll find tips, tricks, and tutorials for DJs and music performers. See you next time.